NYYST. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST, you're hanging with the fellas.
Episode 360 of the NYYST podcast. We're live here on NYY Underground. I am your host, Christian. I'm with SGR.
What up?
And Jesus, I can never get it out. The straw that stirs the NYYU drink, the boss, Pete Simonetti. Pete, what's up, bro?
Yamamoto.
We're on Yamamoto watch, okay?
Yamamoto watch? All right.
Pete's been on
Pete's
been on Yamamoto watch 23 and a half hours a day. If you've been following along on NYYU, he literally, this is what he does. 20 minutes to eat, 20 minutes to shit, 20 minutes to sleep, back out.
Bro, no joke.
It's
I got off. Kev was my last guest at 8:08. I ran upstairs and I actually made a BLT. I ate the whole damn thing in about 2 minutes. I'm probably going to choke and die during this stream, but it is what it is. I had to do it.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Don't choke and die, okay?
Choke and die.
Okay,
right.
please don't do that. Okay.
What is it called again? What do you say? I'm going to unalive myself?
Unalive,
okay.
yes. Unalive,
Right.
Pete's sitting in for the birthday boy. It's Chris's birthday today, so he took the day off.
Happy birthday, brother.
Must be nice, okay?
Right. No singing of happy birthday or anything?
Well, I would like doing maybe a happy birthday. I did think we might have had a little holiday spectacular here.
I did get a message.
You
surprisingly,
did?
I did. Yes.
Interesting. Maybe a little preview of a full-on little Yankee album or something like that. I'm hearing the whispers.
Yeah, it's impressive because I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but I want to leave it up to the fans to understand this. So, you guys ready? Am I ready to play this?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
All right, shit. Here we go, guys. We literally just got this in an email. We got 200 plus people, and they hit the like button. I think you're gonna like this. This is unbelievable. Here we go.
Let's see.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. Happy holiday. Happy holiday.
Oh man!
Wow, that got me in the spirit, guys.
Wow,
wow.
Was that a Cy Young worthy rendition of that song?
I believe so. I guess we are getting some coal this Christmas.
Well, hopefully the Yankees will be getting a little Yamamoto under the tree here. The decision is hopefully coming soon. Everybody, including Jack Curry today, said that a decision is expected before Christmas. So Christmas is just about a week away here. It's next Monday, so about 10 days we should know something about Yamamoto here.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
I know I had heard today that he was with the Phillies. I mean, it's really, let's be realistic here. Would you say that it's the Yankees and Dodgers and everybody else right now?
Well, the Mets are interesting to me because they don't have a superstar pitcher where he would go to the Mets and he would slot in immediately as their ace. So that's where I'm still considering the Mets as a possibility.
I think it's the Yankees and everybody else, but we'll see.
You got to give the Dodgers
Yankees and Dodgers. Yes,
you got to give them a puncher's chance. The big baseball news, we'll get into it really quickly, is that Shohei Otani is a LA Dodger. 10 years, $700 million, and all but $680 million has been deferred till after the playing contract is up. So
it's wild.
And apparently he's got an opt-out clause if the ownership or president of baseball ops leaves, he can opt out of the contract. So
and who else did that a couple of years ago? I think they were referring to somebody else that did that. I can't remember who it was though.
I thought that was a first.
It was called something.
I had never heard that before.
There was a term for it even.
The opt out is specifically contingent on somebody leaving. But look,
so if you wanted to get rid of him, could you just be like, "Hey, buddy, you're fired"? He's just
Yeah,
gonna
really.
see you later.
It's a good way if he's not doing well.
You're like, you know what? This ain't working. Get rid
Yeah.
of these guys.
Doesn't Otani have the power himself now to just fire the GM?
I think so. Yeah,
Pretty
definitely.
much. I mean,
Yeah,
that
he
kind
can
of
do whatever he
contract.
wants on that team.
Look, here's my take on it, right? And anybody that's been a long time fan of the show knows my feelings on Shohei Otani. He's one of a once in a generational type talent, right? Insane to pay this guy $70 million a year. Oh, deferred. It's stop. Okay. It's still, isn't it still counting 48-ish?
46, I
46,
believe it
like,
is. Yeah.
That's still an insane amount of money to go against your luxury tax every year for basically a DH. Because think about it like this. If we're going to be fair about it, right? Not what I think about him personally, because, again, is it really that big of a stretch that Shohei Otani chose SoCal? Come on now.
Right. No.
Right. Okay. Anyway, how much longer realistically he's not pitching this year? How much longer realistically can Shohei Otani pitch?
Great question.
What's his age, right? Where's he at?
I
Right
think
now?
20,
28, 29.
28,
He's 29. I mean, he still has 4 or 5 good years left in him, I'd say, as a pitcher. Now it's just a matter of bouncing back from the injury and coming back. Now is because he's not getting the Tommy John, right?
No, I don't. No,
He's not getting any major. He's not getting any major surgery. He's kind of going that Tanaka route of just kind of playing it out and seeing what happens.
Here's the fact of the matter is that I don't think his body's going to be able to hold up the pitch for another 3 years. That's my opinion. He's going to need a second Tommy John surgery since he's been in America.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is too, but I think the way you got to look at it, which is kind of crazy, right, is he might be a guy eventually that he does what he was doing at the WBC, where he comes in throwing 102 closing games eventually, if he can get to that. But I agree with you, a workload of a starter after 2 Tommy John surgeries that he's had, another issue that he's faced again, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to believe that he's ever going to be a guy giving you 140, 150 innings in consecutive years. But let's be real here. They paid him for the name. They paid him for the star
absolutely.
power.
I know.
They
Yeah,
paid him
yeah.
because of the money they're going to make. They're going to make all that money back.
And he's already shown that before he even stepped on the field because they broke
Bingo.
Fanatics broke the record for highest sales within the first 48 hours of any apparel being released. So I mean,
Which
it's
is
already paying
really
itself.
batshit crazy.
Yeah,
as
and that's
it
all
is.
sports too. That's not just
Yeah.
baseball. It's like
'Cause he passed
Ronaldo,
soccer.
Messi.
I think it was a soccer player, right, that he
Ronaldo
passed?
and Messi. He passed.
Wow.
So
Just saying, as a Yankee fan who has my own expectations for the season, I'm not sitting here worried that the Dodgers are going to just be this runaway juggernaut this season because they got Shohei Otani.
Agreed. And they also just got better,
yeah,
if I could lead into that.
I believe so. We'll go for it.
Oh, Christian, you're muted. We can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, well, his mic's probably not working. So what was the deal that just happened for the Dodgers, Pete?
We have let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Breaking news here.
Breaking
Okay.
news. Okay, Jeff Passan.
Okay, a passing bomb. Okay.
Okay, we don't know what
What
happened.
about
with
now? Can you
Passan.
hear me?
There
Yeah,
it
you're
is.
good.
There he
You're back.
goes.
You're back. You're back. El Gato.
But yeah, it is Glass now and Manny Margot for Ryan Pepiot and Johnny DeLuca. But the interesting thing is, it's contingent on Glass now signing an extension, which he said is going to happen. So who knows what that money's going to look like? I mean, John Flaherty, whatever his name, just got $14 million a pop.
Jack Flaherty
It's crazy.
with the
Yeah.
Tigers.
There's a lot of quiche.
From the Kitty Cats, okay?
Okay.
Well, I guess it's a risky move on the Dodgers' part because we all know the stuff that Glass now has, but he's also made of glass. Exactly.
Yeah.
The joke just writes itself there.
It does.
So we'll see. The Rays continue to be a poverty franchise,
Yeah, but I'm sure this Pepio guy is going to end up being a stud.
and they
DeLuca
won't miss a
stud.
beat.
Probably.
They'll still win 89 to 93 games and
Yep.
be in the mix because that's just what they do. But it's just they can never really get over the hump because they don't keep anybody. Like they don't build around anybody. It's just like
Yeah.
a constant cycle of, all right, this guy's coming up on arbitration. Let's get him out of here. You've been hearing Randy Arozarena's name in trade rumors. Like, why would you move this guy? Like I would think that, like, isn't he like the heart and soul of that team?
He's a
Feels
big
that way.
piece. Yeah, he's a big piece, but that's their MO. That's what they do. They get what they can out of these guys, and then when that time comes, they just move on.
I mean, it must suck being a fan of that team though, because like you can't get attached to
it is.
anybody.
That's how it is. And I wonder if they got a young outfielder back too, and the DeLuca kid, the DeLuca boy. Sounds like it's like an old Italian just talking.
Hey,
The
DeLuca.
DeLuca boy down the street.
Oh,
But
DeVito,
maybe they will.
okay?
Maybe they will trade a Rosarina now. I mean, that's kind of how the team rolls. And somehow, whenever they do it, though, they get somebody that's just as good, or in a couple of years, they're putting up great numbers. But we do got our first super chat of the day too. I'll read it to you guys from Rich Squires. He says the Yankees have aggressively been pursuing a Yamamoto since the beginning of last season. The rest have been Johnny come latelys. They will sign him. So confidence that I like.
I mean, there's confidence there. Pete, I think you sent a picture earlier to that group chat of him with the Yankee gear on, with his buddies with the gear on, dude. It just feels like it's gonna happen. Okay, can we get to a couple? We missed a couple super chats last week. They're kind of one of them's not really relevant right anymore, but I do want to read it because they did chime in last week and we didn't get around to it. Joseph Gonzalez last week, he wrote to us. My friend thinks that the Yankees will try to sign Otani and let Soto walk. That's not happening.
Was wrong. Okay, he was wrong.
Absolutely dead wrong. And then Abner hit us with this. He said in the last live that, this is the one that we couldn't understand, and then he rewrote it. Trade Everson, Pereira, Peraza, and Hampton for Bieber and Clase. Changed my mind on Clase club extension. He's looking at Corbin Burns as another person. It's kind of a tough super chat to comprehend, but I'm not gonna not read a super chat if you guys are chiming in the chat. We got to get to it. I'm sorry that
Abner Double Day. Okay, that was Abner Double Day.
Okay, he created baseball. Okay.
And guys, we got 356 in here. Do me a favor, hit that like button with 16 away from 100. Show some love to the fellas.
There's a couple things that I did want to get to today. So number one, since he's the guy, right? And everybody's saying the Yankees don't really have a backup plan if they don't get Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the backup plan if they don't get Yamamoto?
It's got to be the guy, right? Reunion.
Got a guy?
Monty.
Would you want a Jordan Montgomery reunion at 7-4-2? I don't know, 8, maybe 8.
He does.
That's where it's interesting.
I don't think there's a beef there. I really don't. I don't think there's a beef. I think that's kind of overplayed. But at the end of the day, this guy just won a World Series championship with Texas. Yeah. I don't see him being like, hey, I'm gonna go back to the Yankees unless they overpay. And do we really believe the Yankees gonna blow everybody out the water for Monty?
Oh, I don't see that happening. The same thing with.
Either.
I don't see the Yankees need starting pitching, right? They if God forbid this thing goes the wrong way and they don't get Yamamoto, they have to get another starter in here. Who is it? Do they call Cleveland and say, hey, what's it going to take to get Shane Bieber over here? Is that a possibility?
I think it's possible.
Maybe
they'll deal him.
A Corbin Burns, maybe. I mean, they need I think they need high-end pitching. I don't think they should be out there trying to scour the trade market for guys to fill innings in the back end. I think you need to cover yourself in case Carlos Rodon is a bust. And I hate saying that because I think we all wanted Carlos Rodon here, and I think we all think, but we don't know that he's going to bounce back this year. And I think the Yankees need to cover themselves this way. They have the two guys at the top of the rotation. If it's not Yamamoto and Cole, it's Cole and whoever. So is it Burns? Is it Bieber? I don't know. Do you see a link with maybe Blake Snell if the Yankees don't want to trade any more assets? Then they're like, maybe we'll just throw money at Blake Snell. A lot of people are calling him the biggest regression candidate in the market. It's hard.
I don't see that happening. I don't see Blake Snell anywhere near the Yankees. And David with a super chat says, I think it would be cool to have both Japanese stars. I think he's talking about Roki Sasaki as a possibility also, who could come over next year. And if he does come over next year, it would be the same way that Otani did, where he gets IFA money, meaning it'd only be about $5 million tops. So that'll be interesting.
Little Saki bomb.
Right.
Saki bomb, okay. Warm Saki.
No, that's what kind of the excitement of the Soto trade and the Verdugo trade masked last week, and that's why I didn't really want to get into it last week, because I wanted to be excited that the Yankees did their job last week, right? With Soto and Verdugo, but like this team is improved, but for me, it's not there yet. What are the things that they need to continue to fuck that phone? All right. What are the things they need to continue to do? You got to look around this roster. And I think if you look, their biggest weaknesses are in that pitching staff. And I know it's crazy to say because like everybody looks at this pitching staff and is like, that's not the reason they lost last year. Yeah, we know that. Matt Blake does a really good job with what he's given. And I think we can all give Matt Blake his flowers and say, Matt Blake, whatever he's handed, he turns it back to the Yankees, and they're able to maneuver with whatever it is, whoever it is, right?
Agreed.
Right? But if you look at this rotation after Garrett Cole, and we've been saying this since Garrett Cole signed here, it's nothing but question marks. Garrett Cole and the question marks. It has not changed in 4 years.
That's like his boy band.
Yeah, that's the starting rotation band.
Yeah, Garrett Cole and the question marks. That's what you have here. But you're right. I mean, you're right. You're spot on, right? And guys, we got 400 plus in here. Hit the like button for us. And Philip, I'm gonna get to your super chat because I know you're talking about Glass now. We just talked about it, but I want to obviously give you your time, and we'll talk about them after we talk about this. But you're right. I mean, it is 4 question marks. El gato. It is 4 question marks. You're not wrong. I think Carlos Rodon has a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's going to look to have a big bounce back year. Who knows what Clark Schmidt is going to be again? Who knows what Nestor Cortez is going to be? Does anybody have an idea? I don't think anybody knows. That's why Yamamoto is very important. I have seen so many people go, but they could spend that money else. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it wasn't a problem. It could very well be a problem very quickly if they don't improve this rotation. And having a dominant 1-2 sets the Yankees up for major success potentially.
Big time. You need that 1-2.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it forever. Sevy was supposed to be the guy. Then they were like, well, we really need to go get a real ace. We got one. And then they never were able to pair him up with anybody. And now we're going on year 5 of Garrett Cole. And it's just like we're still waiting for the Yankees to have that dominant 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. And yeah, Yamamoto doesn't automatically eliminate that because you still need to see the transition into Major League Baseball.
Correct.
But everything you hear about him, he's 25 years old. This is something that I don't think they can miss on. I really don't think they can miss on this.
I agree.
And
I had a lot of people, I'll throw this out there real quick before SGR comes on. I had a lot of people tell me for a while, they're like, who would you rather have? Or not rather have, but who would you do first if you could? Would you do Soto at the time before he was here or Yamamoto? And I always said I'd go after Yamamoto first more than anything because I think it sets the team up so well because you got so many trades you can make from there, and then you can do a Soto deal with maybe giving up some more than you would have to just to get it done. But I agree. I think he's extremely valuable to this team's offseason.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do to get another pitcher in here. But the way we're talking now, it does seem like to get a Snell, to get a Montgomery, you are going to have to probably overpay, and then that would lead you to believe that they're going to go the trade route for another arm.
Yep.
Right, and I think that if the Yankees did miss on Yamamoto, they'd be in the trade market more so than trying to pick up either one of those two guys and giving them $150 to $200. I don't see that happening. I think the Yankees don't really want. Honestly, I don't think they really want to hand out another one of these contracts to a pitcher, considering the money they have invested in the rotation. I think that they think that Yamamoto is a special circumstance, that he is 25 years old and that he could be so special at a young age that it's worth the investment. And like we were saying with Otani, think about all the marketing opportunities the Yankees had when Tanaka and Matsui were here. Yamamoto is going to do the same thing for them. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. Like we said, hopefully by the time we sit down and record next week on Thursday, we'll have an answer on Yamamoto and we can really sit here and figure out how great this offseason was, because right now it's been a really good offseason. I think that Brian Cashman's done a lot of good stuff so far this offseason. I like the we didn't even touch on this, the trade that they made with the Dodgers over the weekend. That was another one. The Yankees and Dodgers have a trade in place, and then what? It was like 70 hours before anybody friggin' had the names or anything.
Yeah, it was a whole damn day. I was live waiting for it to happen. I'm live for hours. I'm like, all right, you know what? At this point, I'm getting off. And then the next morning, I had All Rise to do, and like at 10:40, the deal finally came out. It was basically a full day of waiting for that trade, but also a decent trade. It's the part that I talked about with creativity. Got a little creative. Moving over Trey Sweeney, you got Gonzalez, who is a lot like Wandy Peralta, a little bit opposite in the way he doesn't get out lefties as well than he gets righties. But a lot of the stuff is very similar, and they're apparently pretty high on him. And then the kid Yorbit Vivas is a left-handed hitting second baseman, put up really nice numbers in Double-A, year younger than Trey Sweeney, and he'll be in Triple-A. Got some time there, and they think that he's a real good bat-the-ball guy. Plays better at second base than third or short. So I wouldn't say it's a monster move, but it's a creative move, and I think it makes sense for the Yankees.
Because they needed a left-hander out of that bullpen. I think Wandy priced himself out of the market if he's going to be getting like $4, $5, $6 million or whatever it is, and this guy's going to be making $1 million, right?
Yeah.
So I think
$1 million.
at some point, I know, you're splitting hairs when it becomes between $1 million and $6 million, but at some point the Yankees are going to look to be a little bit cost-effective, and this guy's got an elite ground ball rate. I think it was like at 54% last year, and he's one of these guys where if you stick him in the Matt Blake pitching factory, he's going to improve. So I think they basically swap prospects to get Wandy Peralta's replacement, which that's what you pay your GM to do, right?
Bingo.
Isn't this what this is what you want to see your GM do? It's not always the big flashy, sexy move. It's not always going and get Juan Soto. It's doing stuff like this. How can I improve my ball club on a minor level where, and we can do things like this. Like, how do I get a left-handed reliever in here? Well, you know what? Let me call up the Dodgers. They need some 40-man, they need some 40-man relief. Well, take my guy who's not on the 40-man. Let's swap prospects and then throw me a lefty reliever for it, right?
Yep.
You like to see that type of stuff. This is Brian Cashman working for the first, as much shit as we've given Brian Cashman over the past few years, he's working this offseason. I hate to say it like, you should have been doing this 3 years ago, but he's doing it, right? So, I got to give him credit for what he's doing right now.
No doubt.
Even though, I don't why. If he still could have went back in October, if I could have fired him, I would have fired him. But he didn't get fired. He's here. So do your job. And I think he's done a hell of a job so far this offseason.
Yeah, and he's good at finding those guys too. That's definitely been the strength that as fans we've kind of taken a seat back and said, like, let him do his thing when it comes to finding those diamonds in the rough for relievers. He's had a great track record of doing that.
Yep. And before we move on, let's get to this my God, I'm still stuck on my other shows. We got a super chat from Philip. He goes, Glass now traded to the Dodgers. Yamamoto must have said no deal. What do y'all believe is the percentage chance that the Yankees sign Yamamoto? Glass now to the Dodgers is huge, changes everything. What are your thoughts? Love you, Pete. You the man. Thank you. I'll be honest with you, man. I actually don't think it changes anything for the Dodgers when it comes to Yamamoto. I think they're still fully in and fully committed to him. It's going to be interesting to see what Glasnow's extension is. I think that's something to pay attention to, how much money he gets and how long of that deal is going to be. But they just seem like a club right now that's truly going for it.
I respect it.
It doesn't change anything.
We've been asking the Yankees to just show that you're going for it for how many years now, and this is the one off season that we can actually say that they're going for it. Like trading for Wash Donaldson a couple years ago was not going for it. Trading for Juan Soto was going for it. Okay,
no question. And even Verdugo. People kind of just turned their head to a deal like that. In 2 days, you added 3 lefty bats. Verdugo was playing on the Boston Red Sox, and let's be honest, I seen some Yankee fans, get upset about that move. And I'm going, so you were more comfortable with Billy McKinney? You wanted to continue to see Frenchie Cordero and Billy McKinney out there. They just got a guy that's an actual starter, phenomenal arm in the outfield. And then you got Soto, who immediately makes the team better. And at the end of the day, they got a 2-time Gold Glove winner. as almost a throw-in in that deal. In Grisham, who I think still has a lot left in that bat potentially, or a lot of improvement in there, and he's controlled for years to come. So Cashman did a great job, and the Yankees are greatly improved offensively.
Yankees, I believe, are last or close to last in doubles since 2019. They haven't had a guy hit 30 doubles in a season since 2019. They acquired 3 guys in a span of 2 days that had 30 doubles last year, in Verdugo, Soto, and even Trent Grisham. So I mean, they're all lefty sticks that hit doubles. I mean, that's kind of what you want to see. So I think that he did an excellent job, and now he's just got to continue to build on it so far. And I don't think, and I know no one's, and I get it. It's the nature of the beast, right? If they fail on Yamamoto, people are going to blame Cashman for it. But I don't think it'll be his fault. I think he's done everything that he could possibly do here. Now it's just up to the player to decide. I think if the reports are true, we heard that number floated around earlier today, 9 for 304. I mean, that's an offer right there, you know?
It's an offer. And what do you always say, Christian? That when they want somebody, typically they get them. So, I mean, they want Yamamoto. Where in years past, the problem has been that they haven't even really attempted to get those big free agents. But when they go for it, they usually end up getting the person that they want.
That's why I think I'm confident in the Yankees. It's just the Dodgers are such a wild card. Like, what are they up to? What kind of shenanigans would they pull with the contract? Other than that, like, if it was just, on a level playing field, who's going to go get him? I think the Yankees would get him, no doubt about it. Because, like we said, anytime the Yankees have legitimately wanted somebody in free agency, they get him. Nobody stops the Yankees except for the Yankees, and I think they really want Yamamoto. I think we've been asking this question for months, and within the last 6 weeks or whatever, everybody's changed their mind on it. Is Yamamoto Garrett Cole to the Yankees? And yes, now we all know that that's how the Yankees value this guy. So they're going to get him unless the Dodgers just go bananas.
Yeah, I'm 10 of 10, 100%, however you want to see it. I've said it multiple times that I do believe he's going to be a Yankee. No doubt about it. And this super chat right here fits right into it from Rod Thompson, our good friend. And we got 450 in here, 124 likes. Hit that like button for us. The unfortunate reality is that the Yankees are doing everything in their power to get Yamamoto. As long as he wants the Yankees, the deal will happen. There's only so much they can control. And you're right about that. And one of the things I want to bring up about Joel Wolf, his agent, is he's been very, very much known as a very good player agent, where if his player wants to go somewhere and the other team has interest, he tries to make it work.
He's going to chase every last nickel.
That's right. So we could very well have that situation like we're talking about the Dodgers maybe come in 25, 30 million more to the Yankees, and he makes that call and goes, hey, look, the gap here is about $30 million. We want to make this work. He wants to play for you all. And maybe the Yankees go, you know what? Add the additional year. Add the 10th year. Who cares? Let's get him here. Get it done. And he signs it. That's what I believe could very well be happening here. And if that's the case, you got to love the Yankees' chances.
I would put them as a front runner here for sure. It's just like I said, I don't trust the Dodgers. And it's funny how we're just ignoring everybody else. It's just we're talking about the Yankees and Dodgers here, because I really think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to the Yankees and the Dodgers, because I think, especially after the Soto move, I think those are the two teams that are most primed to make a run this year. Are the Yankees and Dodgers.
I just wanted to respond to somebody in the chat talking about the Stanton remarks. Joel Wolf doesn't care. These guys have done business for many, many years, and that has nothing to do with Yamamoto at all. Zero.
I think that's all past us now.
Yeah, Cashman said they cleared the air too with all of that too, and had a discussion about it. So
how did he say it? How did he say it again?
I did reach out to Giancarlo. I was a little hangry that day, and I just needed to eat a little bit of food. I needed some protein, and once I did that, we kind of had a nice heart to heart, and we've resolved our issues.
I was hangry, Brian.
Yeah,
Angry Brian.
Angry Brian.
It's going to be interesting to see, guys. I mean, he has to sign somewhere by January 4th. So, I mean, one way or another, we're going to get this answer pretty soon.
What happens if he doesn't sign by January 4th? He has to go back to Japan.
He has to go back.
Wow.
That's it. He's done. Yeah.
You know the team. He was with the Buffaloes, I believe.
Yep. Oryx.
They don't want him because they want the $45 million.
Right.
They don't want him to go back.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing about Roki Sasaki is that apparently the rumor out there now, and it's actually reported in a couple, I think a new LA Times article, and then somewhere else I read it too, is that the rumor is he has the same clause in his contract because when he was drafted, he had a bunch of teams, and he decided to go to like one of the worst teams because apparently they put that in his contract, where he has the Otani thing where he can leave whenever he really wants. And that's what apparently is starting to come out more now, is that next year, there was rumors that maybe this year, like by Friday, he could all of a sudden become posted. And whoever has money in the IFA side could sign him because he's only going to get about $5 million. But that's the rumor now in that regard, is that if he has that in his contract, he can actually come over here as soon as next year. Which they're going to, the reason I'm bringing it up is that poor team isn't making no damn money at all because they would have made a shit ton on him if he got posted regularly.
Okay.
He's younger than.
He's 23. He'll be 23 next year. So, yeah, you can only be posted at 25 or over. And if you get it before, you would have to have that type of clause in your contract that Otani had.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a wild card next year if he does get posted. We'll see. I heard that somebody was saying, I don't know where I remember, but anyway, close with Yamamoto, so that could be something that teams are looking at too. But like I said, we're going to keep an eye on this Yamamoto situation. This has been it's just this off season though. It's just following this news has been exhausting because you've been getting these crumbs and morsels and then nothing happens for 3 days and then see what happens as we move along here. Like I said, let's take a look. I want to take a look at this team now. Where can the Yankees improve? Like, what are we looking at to really solidify this team to make this, a legit World Series contender, right? So I think we're looking at this starting rotation. It's Yamamoto, right? Okay, Yamamoto. The Yankees are, if they don't get him, is it Burns? Is it Bieber? I don't think they're going to be in the free agent market. They need high end guys. I don't, going to get a 4th or 5th starter. I mean, it doesn't move the needle, and I don't think anybody is really interested in that right now. So you're looking at a situation like that. Do you think the Yankees need high end, leverage bullpen guys? Because I'm still under the impression that this team is not ready to win a World Series with Clay Holmes as the closer. That's my opinion.
Right there with you. That to me is the thing, and I think if God forbid, I've been saying it on all the chats, I don't even want to talk about there being a plan B, but that is the reality of running a team. The Yankees have to have some sort of plan B set up. And I'll tell you this right now, I think Jordan Hicks is out there, right? Jordan Hicks is somebody that if they miss, you could be like, hey, that money's there. Let's bring it to this guy. But I'm right there with you, man. They need a closer. They need somebody that's been there and done that. Clay Holmes, to me, yeah, he could go on these streaks of being unhittable. But then there's nights when he can't throw a strike and he's not getting anybody out. And I like him so much more out of that closing role that I don't know if Emmanuel Clase is going to really be traded. They said they consider moving him. Devin Williams is a guy that I continue to look at. He's a guy I'd go bananas about if you could figure out a way to make that deal. But I don't know if Milwaukee will be looking to deal him. There's not much out there that we know of, at least, that could be moves. But what is a plan B? How do you get a plan B? What is a plan B from that? Like you said, I mean, yeah,
you normally go to the pharmacist for that. So you got
to go to the pharmacist for a little plan B. Okay, I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm not comfortable with Holmes either.
Devin Williams would be nice though, but he's not a free agent until 2026, and it seems like the Brewers parted ways with Hader with the intention of Williams can.
And he's a guy like I know a lot of Yankee fans just say it because the biggest name is always the guy that they want. I don't want any part of Josh Hader on this team.
No, me neither.
Not at all. He's not a fit. He's not a fit for this team.
Just doesn't have a winning. The winning.
Pitching,
yeah, he doesn't have a winner's mentality.
No, not at all. Look at what he did at the end of the year last year. I mean, he
exactly
kind of voluntarily sat out
Yeah, he was like,
they weren't in it.
I'm not pitching. What was it, four outs or something like that? He's like, I refuse to do it. Get
Yes.
the hell out of here.
Yeah.
No, do the Yankees go quality over quantity over quality? Do they go with a bunch of like Tommy Kahnle types, like guys that are like good seventh, eighth inning guys, but you don't have a legit closer and you just rotate in the hot hand? I don't know, man. I think the bullpen needs help too, because especially early in the season, we know Boone's going to rely on these guys heavily. What are they going to have left? It didn't matter this year because the team was done after the trade deadline. We all knew it, especially when they didn't do anything. We all knew that they were done. So it didn't matter that these guys gassed out in the last 2 months. You're hoping that there's a third month, an entire third month for this team to play after the trade deadline this year. So how do you keep these guys fresh? You traded a lot of depth in the Juan Soto deal. You can say that, whatever you think about Brito and Vasquez, these guys 8 innings and they 8 quality innings. I mean, these are things that, yes, I would glad that Soto's here. I'm not regretting trading those guys, but even Michael King ate a lot of innings in that bullpen early on pretty much up until August. How do you replicate that? You're going to leave Clark Schmidt in the rotation. He's not going to be there to, potentially move back into a bullpen spot. I'm sure the Yankees have guys that they could come up. Luis Gil might be a guy, but again, coming back from Tommy John surgery, how often can you use him out of the bullpen? So I don't know, man. I just think that they need bullpen arms. They need guys that they can keep fresh. Even a guy like Greg Weissert. I mean, yeah, you're not going to let Greg Weissert stop you from trading for Alex Verdugo, but he was a bullpen piece. He was depth in that bullpen. So the Yankees need to replenish some of these arms.
They got a lot of those guys too. That's the one thing that you got to be a little bit confident about when it comes to the Yankee system, is that some of these guys could go into pen. You mentioned Luis Gil. There's also Clayton Beater. There's another kid down there, Jake Neely, who looks extremely good. I mean, they do have arms down there, but the crazy thing is, I think we say this a lot, right, is they're the Yankees. You know what I mean? This is a team looking to win now. You kind of want to get somebody who's been there and done that if you can. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's available. I mean, can Jordan Hicks close games? I mean, the way he looked with Toronto, he dominated. He was an animal with Toronto. But is he the same guy? Pete Walker does magic with pitchers. He does that a lot. Alek Manoah, cheeseburgers are more important than anything Pete Walker had to say to him. But I don't know if a guy like him, you could get him and go, you know what? Maybe he's a guy that could immediately jump in there and start closing games. I don't think that's his MO.
It's just, I don't know, man. I know the Yankees are going to go in with Clay Holmes. I don't know. I don't trust him. Game 7, 2-run lead in the 9th. Clay Holmes takes the mound in Houston. How confident are you feeling at that point?
Not at all.
I mean,
no, not too confident. But again, there's really not a lot out there that's truly available.
Again, this is what Brian. Hey, you know what, Brian? This is what you get paid for, brother.
You could go for Alexis Diaz with the Reds, but I feel like the Reds are trying to win this year. So
get creative. Get creative.
I don't know. Interesting.
So you look at the line. All right. So you take a look at the rotation and bullpen. Okay, we all see improvements there. Soto, great. To me, I like Verdugo, Judge, Soto. That's how I go 1, 2, 3. I've seen people debate it other ways. I don't like DJ LeMahieu leading off. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. But hey, I think to go Verdugo, Judge, Soto is the way to go. I like lefty, righty, lefty, and then it's really righty, lefty, righty. Because I'm batting Volpe 9th. You have that cyclical double leadoff hitter to.
Oh, man, your fucking connection's bad.
It's not my connection. I keep hitting the mute button.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. That's all.
Very antsy. Oh, and by the way, this is a historic episode of the NYYST podcast. This is El Gato's last episode. Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh man.
Gato's last episode. We will know next week. El Gato will be gone. El Gano.
For episode 360, we've gone full circle.
Oh,
Yes,
a
we
little
have.
full.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right, a little circle episode. Okay.
Okay. First you have 180. Okay, that's half a circle. Okay, you
Alright.
add another 180. Okay, you get a full
Alright.
circle. Okay, El
Little
Gato.
full. Okay, I got it.
All right, go
Well,
ahead.
I think.
Little kitty
Okay.
cat.
All right.
Little kitty
Okay.
cats. Okay, come here, kitty.
Are we all good with their outfield situation as of
Absolutely.
Hell
Okay.
yes. I mean,
can't really-
shit. Compared to last year, my God, what a difference.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly right. I don't think the Yankees need to acquire anybody else. Right? They're good in the outfield. With Verdugo, Judge, Soto, Dominguez coming back, and then you got Trent Grisham as the fourth guy. Right? I think we're all pretty confident and feel pretty good about that right now.
Mhm.
Okay. How's the catch?
According to SNY, and I'll throw this out there real quick, the Yankees are also interested in Shota Imanaga, who is the hard-throwing left-handed starting pitcher if they miss out on Yamamoto, is what SNY is saying.
He's a back end type guy, right?
No, could be mid-rotation type, mid-rotation potential.
Okay.
Throws hard, 95, 96, big curveball. I've heard a lot of good things about him, but yeah, compared to Yamamoto, he's no doubt about it, a downgrade.
I'm not looking for,
I agree. I agree with you.
I think Jack Curry said this best the other day. It's like the Yankees don't have a backup plan, and it's kind of a good thing that they don't have a backup plan because they're all in on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So
yeah. Well, people were panicking about that today because like, oh my God, they talked about Montgomery, and I'm like, guys, you know what it is too? There's nothing to talk about. I mean, there really is nothing to update and talk about right now. How much of the same thing? I don't know how I've been doing 2 hours. Thank God I got voicemails because there's not really much else to cover besides what's already there. So them talking about that is really trying to fluff the show and fill it, in my opinion.
Well, that's how Jack Curry opened their show today. He's like, I got nothing for you. I was like, I know what you want.
Yeah, we're kind of at that lull right now until
he
someone
went to go
else
see the
signs.
Phillies today. The Yankees are really optimistic. That's kind of what it is. He's like, I'd love to be breaking news for you right now, but I got nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there. And guys, we're 2 subs away from 21,900. On top of that, let's get to 200 likes. Got 481 people in here right now. Hit that like button, everybody. Come on.
Yeah, smash the like, subscribe to NYYU, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, let's get the 5-star rating and review. Okay.
Okay.
I think. All right, so we're gonna go around the diamond real quick. We'll go behind the dish first, right? Is your tandem? Is it Wells and Trevino? Is that how you
Yes.
go?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, at least at the start of the year. And if it's not working out, that's maybe a deadline move. You look for another catcher to add, but I'm fine with that.
I think Cole is gonna. You think Cole wants Worfet there?
They
I don't think he
grew
was, but he
together.
wasn't he
last year.
really? Wasn't he also really good with Trevino?
He
When he was healthy?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So I think, and the one thing about Trevino that I think people don't maybe never heard much, but he's extremely, extremely well liked in that clubhouse. As far as I think Aaron Boone even said he's a leader in the clubhouse when he's there. So they definitely think highly of him. He's not going nowhere. And it's one of the trades that, Brian Cashman, got a guy that won a platinum glove. Whatever you think about his bat, he still did it. And I 100% expect him to be in the lineup on opening day with Cole pitching.
Yeah, it's just that who's going to be the lefty? Do they think Austin Wells needs more seasoning and they'll have Worfet here to placate Cole? But I don't think that they need
Wells
that.
is-
Look, Wells has got the best.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. I mean, his bat is going to be it could be a difference maker from behind the plate this year from the left-handed side.
Yeah, it also allows you, if Trevino is starting games, maybe you got a second and third situation, first and second situation, first and third, and you go, you know what? Let's bring the guy with better speed and a better overall bat and fits Yankee Stadium to a T. I saw some of those balls he started launching at the end of the year when he really put it together, and you're sitting there going, damn, this guy's going to be legit for us. So, yeah, they need him. They need him in the major leagues next year.
I don't think you go into the season thinking anything other than it's Trevino and Austin Wells as a platoon back there. And I think by Memorial Day, I will put it that he's getting 80% of the starts is Austin Wells. That's my opinion. That's how I think it's going to shake out. And I think Trevino is going to be pretty much relegated to being maybe a defensive replacement late in games and Cole's caddy. I think that's what his role on this team is going to be.
Yep.
So I don't think the Yankees really need to do anything behind the plate. I like their catching situation a lot better with Austin Wells than had it been like Rortvet and Trevino or Higashioka was still here. But I like the catching situation a lot better because I think Wells' bat is really going to play this year. Then you look at first base, man. Like, I don't think the Yankees are going to do anything, but how much do we trust Anthony Rizzo? You know, I think Anthony Rizzo is a real wild card this year. If Anthony Rizzo can stay healthy and be 30 home run Anthony Rizzo, this is a very lethal lineup. If you're adding 30 home runs from the left side out of Anthony Rizzo, who's going to be batting what? I guess he'd be down to fifth if you're going to go, you know, then lengthens that lineup. And then you're talking about Gleyber Torres is hitting sixth in this lineup, which is really where you want him. Anthony Rizzo is a big key to this lineup. He has to stay healthy. He's got to hit 25, 30 home runs. I mean, other than that, I mean, if he's hurt and then you're going in a situation there where maybe DJ LeMahieu becomes your everyday first baseman, I think that takes a lot of I can't think of the word right now, but I think it takes a lot of the steam out of this offense if DJ LeMahieu is your first baseman.
Yeah, because you're moving too much. You're doing too much around. Like that's like a decision you make when it's not working. You kind of want to go into the year with that clean slate of having a guy that's going to be there and it's his job. So that wouldn't be too good. That's just another question mark there too. But I don't know. I mean, you looked at his year at those first 2 months before this whole concussion thing with Tatis. He was one of, if not the best hitter in baseball for a second there. So you know, hopefully it was just the concussion that made him, you know, downgrade so drastically, but who knows? You just got to kind of let it play out at this point.
He's also working with Teacher Man, which is nice to see, Judge's guy. So, you know, a lot of times apparently he works with people that he sees things in their swing that he feels he could fix or help out with a lot. So, if you know, obviously, you know, Judge wants his guy around and he has to really show off this year. And, you know, if he is healthy, I don't think there's much concern about Rizzo being a good player. I just think is that concussion something that lingers? You know, is he going to dive one day and who the hell knows? Is he going to slide hard and maybe something, you know, gets a little thrown off? We don't really know. I know Jeff Jay's a doctor that's in the chat a lot, and he was mentioning how concussions, you can't really ever tell. You never know. You know, a slightest movement could affect you after that. So we don't really know. It's interesting, but he was definitely nowhere near the same guy after that. I mean, it was horribly bad. So let's hope we're getting the real Rizzo back.
So I think we'll take shortstop as a given. It's Volpe's job, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to really debate that. I'm expecting him to really take a big step forward this year. So you really look at second base and third base, right? These are the areas where I think the Yankees have a little bit of flexibility because Boone said last week, I think it was, that LeMahieu's the third baseman. I don't really
the meetings,
I don't like it, man. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I don't know where the Yankees. That is probably a spot right there where I would try to bring in some offense if I could. I don't know how they would be able to do it. Who's available in the trade market, but I think third base is I think they need. Again, I don't think. I said go get the superstar with Judge, right? You got it with Juan Soto, so you don't need to go get another superstar third baseman. But where can I get a guy that can hit 260 and give me 25 home runs out of third base? You know, where's that guy?
It's a tough ask. That's a really tough ask.
There's not a lot available for that.
There's not. No. I thought of the same thing. So it's great that you bring that point up. I thought the same exact thing. I'm like, you know, I like DJ LeMahieu, but let's be real. Are we really expecting this guy to play every day? And at this point in his career, I don't think that's really a fair ask. And I don't know who's out there. I mean, even if you look at trades, one of the guys that I always just think he has a lot more talent in him, but he's paid pretty high, is Yoan Moncada from the White Sox, but he's never really put it together. He's been injured a lot also, so I don't know if that helps. Another name of a player I was looking at recently, and the only reason I bring him up is because the Yankees did try to trade for him originally in the Bader deal, but then they took Bader, was Edmundo Sosa, who now plays for Philly. And he played in the World Series, in the NLCS and all that. Plays third base, short, second, good power from the right side. I think he had 10 homers and like maybe high 200 at bats. Great speed. I do feel they need somebody there because can we really sit there and go, is Peraza going to even get a chance? Peraza has some amazing spring training. Does anybody expect him to win a job over anybody?
I mean, who would he get a job over?
DJ? I mean, do you think they'll really give him third base over LeMahieu?
How bad is LeMahieu? I mean, is LeMahieu batting 082, and then they'll just say, oh, he's a veteran.
That's what I think they would say. Either way, I think they'd just be like, hey, you know, we're used to him. He's been great. Peraza's going to make the team as a bench guy. And
there's no way he beats Volpe, right? Even if Volpe hit like a $110 in spring training and he hit 750, he's not getting the shortstop job.
Yeah, no way. No way.
That's interesting though. You bring up the Sosa kid for the Phillies because they have a third baseman over there too, Alec Bohm. That could really maybe if they're gonna play Sosa at third base, then who knows what Bohm? Am I saying that right? Bohm?
Yeah, Alec Bohm.
Bomb?
It's Bohm. I thought it was Bohm. It's Bohm.
Can't say Bohm.
Bohm.
Can't say Bohm on
airplane.
Can't say bomb on an airplane, okay?
So if that's the plan there, if Sosa's the plan there, then he might become available, and that could be someone that the Yankees look into trading.
Well, I think he'll be more of a utility guy. I don't think he would start over him, but still one of the decent bats maybe that you can get that could surprise you a little bit. But I don't see LeMahieu. I'd be much more comfortable with the Yankees having somebody better because again, a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera, I mean, he's another guy we can't really trust him with much.
No.
Hasn't proven anything.
Oh, I did. And you look over at second base. What do you do with Gleyber Torres? Yankees
I was so sold on trading him a few weeks ago, but just for some reason when they got Soto, it just felt like one of those balls to the wall, we're all in type moves. And all they ever bring up is what? The offense was horrible. It was horrendous last year. To me, it kind of sounds like them saying, at this point, we've tried to trade him. We've never gotten the full amount that we feel we should get. Maybe we keep him, give him the qualifying offer. He says no, and we get a draft pick. And that's good enough for us. But we keep him this year and go with the best offense we can have.
Just going to let him walk at the end of the year?
Yeah, you get the draft pick for him. Maybe, there's been so many rumors about them trying to trade him. And it seems like they always want too much. What was it last year? They wanted Braxton Garrett, who was one of the better left-handed pitchers in the National League last year, and Edward Cabrera, one of their young fireballers. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. So every ask has been very high, and they haven't got it. So maybe they just go keep him, and you let him walk because they're not going to give him $150+ million that he's going to get.
Gleyber Torres is going to be the player he was last year. 800 OPS, 25 home runs. What did he hit, like 270 or 280, whatever it was?
That's the risk of him. You never know. You really don't know what you're going to get from him.
I mean, if that's what you get out of him, and he's going to be batting sixth in this lineup, I mean, now you're really talking about like lengthening this lineup out. This is what we're talking about. There's really, you're going to take the top three guys, Verdugo, Judge, and Soto, and I'm going to give them all givens as, Verdugo's not going to be a flashy guy, right? But I'm going to say he'll bat 265 to 270. He's going to give me my 340 on base. He's going to rip some doubles. He'll be on base in front of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is going to do fucking Aaron Judge things, right? We all know that. He's going to hit 45, 50 bombs as long as there's no fucking walls for him to run into. He's going to be...
Oh, guys, we got a Yankee trade.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Jack Curry just put it out there. The Yankees have traded outfielder Billy McKinney to their favorite team, the Pirates, for cash consideration. So Billy McKinney, good to know you.
So is that just Brian Cashman advice?
I would consider Bednar to be a really good closer. You could probably get a lot for him.
What was that
Billy McKinney
with that extra money? Oh, Yamamoto's a given. That extra $250,000 they just got. Forget about it.
That's such like a weird thing to do. The guy just signed a minor league deal last week, and you traded him for a used Honda.
And that'll be in the opening day roster. On the opening day roster for the Pirates.
Oh man.
International
bonus pool money. I'm gonna be real with you guys for a second. So I don't know how much you guys know about this story, but me and Dane have been on this a lot. The Yankees had two prospects that were signed international that they actually interviewed last year. They told both of them to go get different deals. They're saving their IFA money for something, and they just got more of it. It's interesting to think about. If there is news, and I don't want to be the guy to throw this out there because I don't think it's going to happen now, But it's very, very odd that they just said, I'm going to let two of the top guys in the pool leave to save the money. And now we're trading for more money. It just feels like something is up. I don't know if it's Sasaki. I don't know if it's going to happen out of nowhere. But why would they save so much IFA money and tell other guys to leave? I don't know. It's just, it's odd to me.
Take a hike, beat it. I don't know. It's Brian Cashman for you. Okay. No Tommy DeVito's agent, but he's doing a pretty solid job over here. As I was saying here, we're going to give Judge a given. He's going to be an MVP caliber player. Soto, come on, bro. Anybody that's trying to convince themselves that this guy's not going to hit 35 bombs and get on at a 400 clip is just insane, okay? Because that's what he's going to do. He's going to hit 35 home runs. He's going to have a 410 on base percentage, and he's going to be everything that we want him to be. And just before we get to to how this kind of all ties in, can we stop reading in so goddamn much into what he said in the friggin' press conference the other day? While I'm here. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. While I'm here for a year. Right now, I'm here for a year. So while I'm here, this is what I'm going to do. It don't mean he's walking out the door. Everybody's trying to figure out, like they're trying to crack the friggin' Da Vinci Code over what Juan Soto said in a Zoom conference. Come on.
It's wild.
This is how you know the Yankees are back, because people are doing this shit to cope with the fact that we went out there and got Juan Soto.
Somebody threw a name in here that I want to run by you guys for third base because I forgot he's a free agent, but interesting idea. David with the super chat says Justin Turner for a 1-year deal.
We already got one grimy Red Sox. We don't need another one.
We don't need multiples, all right?
We don't need.
One is fine.
One homeless rat from Boston is fine.
He cleaned up well, though. I got to give him credit. He cleaned up well.
He did,
right,
Verdugo.
Right? Yeah, what a difference.
Yeah. It looks good. Okay.
What a difference.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Turner. That's not a terrible idea, but as another year older, 39, just turned 39.
Ronnie Mauricio's out for the year, and the Mets need a third baseman. So
Okay. Oh yeah, a little reunion there.
The New York Mess. Okay, he could stay ugly.
Nice,
he could stay ugly and go to the Mess. Okay, 502 in here, guys. We're 12 likes away from 200. Hit the likey, smack it,
There's no bigger guy, and I guess in terms of stature and figuratively, that's going to put this entire thing together than Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton, at least at the beginning of the year, is going to be batting cleanup. I don't see a way that he's not.
Agreed.
I agree. You see so many people online going, you can't bat. I'm like, you do know they're paying him all this money, and they are going to give him every chance in the world to show that he could bounce back. They're going to give him the chance. And I'll be honest, they should. They should give him the chance. They're paying him.
Yeah, you can't not hit him fourth. You can't go lower than that. He's getting paid too much, and that's just how
it's him or Glaber. I'm sorry, but I'm still going with G over Glaber in that situation. Early on, at least, no doubt about it.
Early at the beginning, yes.
Just don't. Here's the thing. What do we expect out of Giancarlo Stanton? I'm sure as we get closer to the beginning of the season, and we'll look at the over-unders like we do every year. If I told you 99 games for Giancarlo Stanton, you taking the over or you taking the under on that?
I'll always take the under with him, unfortunately.
Take the under.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have no confidence this guy can even post 100 times next year.
No.
Vital to this lineup. Once you get past the top three, you have these guys here that somebody's going to have to break out and be the guy that makes sure that Juan Soto isn't walked 200 times this year or whatever an outrageous number is, right? Who's going to be the guy that makes sure Juan Soto gets his pitches to hit as well? And at the beginning of the year, it's going to be Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep.
And Boone can say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. Again, he's got to prove he's healthy. And what really, and I said this on the show numerous times because Ryan was always a big proponent of, G's going to get hot. He's going to carry the team. He didn't do that last year.
Right.
He never got hot. He never had that Giancarlo Stanton where he was like walking around like a ball of fire for 2 weeks.
Right. And that was the outlier. That was the backdrop of that whole Cashman the comments by Cashman was like, this was the first year where he was fully healthy and didn't perform. Usually it's been due to injury. So it's really, yeah, that middle of the lineup, man, that's really going to be the key. If two of Stanton, Rizzo, and Torres could come back and really be productive, then this lineup is just going to be really hard to beat.
They need two of those three guys to really step up this year and be better than what everybody else is thinking that they can be right now. Because if they do that, then this lineup is going to, it's going to be a really good lineup. Because right now, people are freaking out about the Dodgers lineup. It's a top heavy lineup. You go Betts, Freeman, Otani, it's a top heavy lineup. The Yankees are top, and the Yankees don't even have the top three because Verdugo is not the same player as those other guys. But the Yankees lineup is top heavy too with Verdugo, Judge, and Soto. And then you got these question marks. Glaber is what he is, but now you want to bat him six. Volpe, you're hoping turns it around and gets closer to being an all-star player, but you don't know. That's why this team, they needed Juan Soto, dude. Think about, we're sitting here breaking down this lineup. We're so many question marks about guys and who's going to step up and where's the offense coming from. Now, imagine if they didn't have Juan Soto on this team.
Yeah, it changes everything. Changes everything. Because think of what he does for Judge. Think of what he does for the rest of those guys. Just opens everything up.
That's why
for an absolute mess. Yeah.
That's why for 1 year, that price that they paid, they had to pay it. You could not go into the season. You could not go into 2024 without getting Juan Soto. There's nobody else available that could have made this much of a difference in this lineup.
Correct. I agree with you. No doubt about it.
The Yankees have been needing left-handed power for so long, and they paid a good price for it. I don't care what anybody says. They paid a good price for it. Too. Now think about it if they didn't. Now imagine Garrett Cole trading for the Brian Cashman that tried to trade for Garrett Cole was trading for Juan Soto, and he walked away from it.
I'm not following what you're trying to say there.
Brian Cashman had traded for Garrett Cole, or tried to. He put a price tag. He put a line in the sand on what he was willing to pay for Garrett Cole.
Right.
Yeah, if he did the same thing with
away from the deal.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like I said, there was a couple of reports too there that Hal Steinbrenner had a lot to do with that, with saying, because apparently Cashman's baseball people were not for trading both of those guys, and apparently was Steinbrenner to come out and go do it, trade both of them, make the deal. And it was odd too, because you remember there was, and all of a sudden they had a Yankees hot stove show, and out of nowhere it was like now they're willing to deal King. Yeah. They were so unwilling to do it that all of a sudden it was like a snap of the fingers, and all of a sudden he was available. And now the deal looks very close. That's such a good point.
Once they started doing those hot stoves, that's when all the fucking news would break too. 10 p.m. they would get on, and then all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, the Yankees make a deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why PM?
I was looking at it. He's like, how many Michael King jerseys am I going to sell next year? How many come into Yankee Stadium to watch Michael King pitch?
Right.
God, Soto, man. I would love to know if we get a projected number of how many jerseys have been sold already. It's got to be a shit ton.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this team is I'm very excited for the season to start, but there's still work to be done.
Yep.
And I think this is how colossally screwed up this team was last year. That they got Juan Soto, they got Alex Verdugo, they can even get Yamamoto, and you can't sit there and tell me that this is going to be one of the 2 or 3 best. I mean, it probably will be, but you can't definitively say it's the 2 or 3 top best team in baseball right now. How bad this roster was last year. And with so many question marks, especially in the offense and the bullpen, Brian Cashman still got to put his working shoes on. Even if they get Yamamoto, you can't sit back and be like, "Oh, I'm done." You're not done. You're not done, guy.
A lot more to actually go out there and do. And I still feel the biggest thing is it's still a closer. It's still the late inning relief pitching. But I wonder if they feel confident enough too. I just wonder if they feel confident enough, maybe with guys like Luis Gil, and could one of these guys kind of come in and be a Dylan Betances type that just kind of comes out of nowhere and is throwing 101 miles an hour out the pen and just dominating. It's possible. I just feel like Clay Holmes get into those postseason games and big moments. You're just asking to potentially lose. I don't trust it. I don't trust them. That to me is their biggest weakness right now if you look at the team.
You can see it. The hamster wheel spins too fast for him sometimes, and he doesn't know how to
Yes.
slow it down.
Great
He
point.
cannot get the hamster to stop running circles in his brain, and that's when he lawn darts one. He throws it 7 feet over the catcher's head. You know, that's when you see it, and you can see it. It's not like, well, what's going on with him? You could see the gears are turning, and he can't stop them.
Yep. Super Chat says, what would you do to pull Mike Trout from the Angels? Nothing.
Exactly, nothing, absolutely
I don't
nothing.
know, especially right now. They're all set up with their outfield, so it wouldn't
Yep.
really be of use.
I mean, what's the answer? I mean, think. Okay, let's entertain it for a second, right?
Okay.
Let's say he's a DH.
Okay.
What are you willing to give up to get him?
Honestly, his salary alone would just make me say I'm not giving anything up for him.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
Stan's,
I wouldn't have interest.
again, we talk about this all the time, right? Coming into this offseason, I need the one superstar. I got him. Now I need reliable guys. He's not reliable. Mike
No.
Trout's not a reliable baseball player.
Not at all.
Durability.
Bro, since him and Otani were on the same team together, they played in the 47% of the Angels games. 47%.
I mean, the only way I think maybe if you do something like that, right, is if they take a shit ton of our salaries. Like if Stanton
that's what I
goes,
was
maybe
thinking,
LeMayu
Stanton.
goes and something else. But I still like
Exactly. How does that benefit
I
them,
mean,
though? I mean, they
yeah,
don't want-
exactly. It's not
No.
benefit. It's just, it doesn't make any sense at all. That's the only way it could work, and it doesn't add up. Like somebody can say, "Oh, throw some prospects in." Yeah, but it still doesn't add up properly. Like that just doesn't make sense. Why would I then take salaries for? Like it kind of shows you that no matter how great Mike Trout is, with the deal and the injuries, there's not much value there.
I mean, I'm not even entertaining it. I mean, there's
either.
nothing the Angels could call up and say that would make me want Mike Trout on this team. I mean, because he's not gonna. He's another guy. If I gave you an over/under number of 99 games for Mike Trout, what are you taking?
Under.
That's
You have to take
exact-
the under.
Right.
He's
So you
only
got
done
a
it
guy-
once in the last 4 years.
He's
Go
a
over
guy that
99.
makes more money than John Carlos Stanton and is just as injury prone as John Carlos Stanton. So tell me
Bingo.
how he fits here.
Doesn't.
No.
Next week, we'll be back here on the NYYST podcast. It's going to be our final show of 2023. And then, we're going to hopefully Yamamoto watch will be over. We'll have some it'll be fun either way. Hopefully it'll be, it'll be in the Bronx.
He's
But
going in the Bronx.
you think so?
Yeah, it's over. He's a Yankee.
It'll be very interesting to me if he does go to the Dodgers, because a lot that narrative with Japanese pitchers, with Japanese superstar pitchers has consistently been that they don't want to really team up.
Correct.
So if he's going to go to see, now it was interesting to me when it came out that Otani was at that meeting, but then I thought about it more. For Otani, he doesn't care if Yamamoto comes to the Dodgers. No matter what happens, he's still going to be the superstar
Bingo.
Japanese player for the Dodgers, where Yamamoto wouldn't be that. But Otani has nothing to lose in that like egotistical sense, if that is something that is going through their minds when they're deciding what team to come. I mean, look at what they do with their numbers, like how 18 is such a like cherished number to have.
Yeah,
And,
that's
stuff
right.
like that.
Yankees-
There's a lot of culture that comes with those with players from Japan that I'd be interested if he goes to the Dodgers, and all of that talk, all of those stories are just, they're done. That's not even a thing. So.
Yeah, the Yankees have saved number 18 for him. So,
Yep.
there's a lot there. Yeah, and hopefully it is next week that we find out and we're good to go, and I don't have to do 14-hour streams every night, and we're okay.
Let the guy sleep, for Christ's
I
sake.
know, let them sleep, but they are
Yeah, let me take a
entertaining.
little, let me take a little nap.
Yeah,
Take a
you
little
did a little
nap,
snooze.
right?
Yeah,
Can we like before we end the show again, can we just get the song one more time? I mean, I think everybody deserves to say it. We got
Let's close
almost
it out.
500 people in it, guys. We got to play this again for you. This was sent to us, and there may be a full song coming, but this was literally just in our inbox, and I got to play it for you guys because this is just amazing. So take a quick listen.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you.
Once we get Yamamoto, this is what we'll be playing.
Cy Young and can
days.
sing. It's
Happy
just
Yama
amazing.
Day. Good one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guy wins
Hey,
Cy
Cole's got
Youngs and he
pipes.
belts out those vocals. Unreal.
Awesome.
How do you think he got Amy? He didn't get Amy from throwing fucking
Right.
fastballs.
You're right.
99.
Who gives a shit about a fastball? You got some
Dude.
vocals on it. You let those babies out.
So last week was Soto. Now we're waiting for the Yama part. And again, next week is the last episode of 2023. It'll be our holiday episode. I don't know what that means, but everybody brands everything holiday.
Okay, holidays. All right. Okay.
I'm sure. Let's see if we'll cook up something special, and hopefully it'll be a nice, fat new ace under the Christmas tree for Yankee fans. So that's what we're all hoping for here. Yamamoto. It'll be a Yamasoto Christmas, hopefully in the Bronx. We want to thank everybody for their continued support of NYYST and NYYU. We want to thank everybody that's been in the chat this evening. If you're still there, like and subscribe to NYY Underground. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating review. We want to thank Pete for sitting in here today.
Thanks, Pete.
It's Chris's birthday. Okay,
Happy
so
birthday,
Happy
brother.
birthday, Chris.
you can tell what his priorities are. Okay?
Before we sign off, I got a quick super chat. I don't want to save it again till next week.
Yeah, please.
Yoshi will want to be the talk of the town when he strikes out Otani 12 times in a 3-game series in June. Okay,
Oh,
sign me up.
shit.
Sign me up for that. But okay.
Give me that shit, dude.
Okay, Met fans, what are they going to do when Yamamoto strikes out Pete Alonso with runners at second and third? In
I
a
say
bit.
it's another day.
Happy Yama Day.
Yama days. All right, so happy birthday to Chris, okay? And
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Chris.
brother.
All right.
and be sure to join us next week for our final show of the year. And we want to again thank you for your continued support. Thank you for listening and watching episode 360 of the NYYST podcast. SGR,
Go Yanks.
Pete, say goodbye.
Adios.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet.